YouTube and everybody else out there? How you doing? Today is the 18th of September 2018, and I am going to recap my trading day. It was a very interesting day. We had a lot of stocks moving, but nothing that really stuck to me right off the open, and pre-recorded everything. But I didn't voice it. I just recorded it just so I could go back and commentate it later. We had VKTX, that was a mover today. We had NBEV that I was watching, and then we had NIO, of course. Hoping to, I was, in this video here, was actually planning out my battle plan for each one of these stocks. But as you'll see, as the day unfolds, there is a lot of changes that occur. I usually find a trade right off the open, but interesting today, I just couldn't nail one there. Everything just we had no continuations. So everything that I saw was it was popping up and then just coming like that. We just had a huge sell-off on the majority of everything. I don't know what is wrong with my pencil right now. There we go. But anyhow, I want to go over this video here and kind of walk you through my mindset, and hopefully it'll be of use to you. Really just a kind of documenting my journey with TradeNet, and I believe that TradeNet is a pretty amazing broker, or prop firm, I guess you would say. They leverage you pretty good, and my experience with them so far has been superb. I really hesitated with this for the longest time, and now I am actually kind of trying to figure out a long-term plan for this. I'm trying to debate on whether I should become more aggressive with this account, and the reason being is I just want to see if it's possible with somebody with little trading experience can grow this account from $500 on up to the $250,000 package, which is $9,000 to buy into TradeNet. Now, I like the thought of that, but for some reason, trading this account, I feel conservative. So, as I'm trading it, I'm not able to get as aggressive as I want. I'm nailing these entries, but my issue is I've become more conservative in my mindset. So I'm fighting that battle, and I'm also fighting a battle of taking my profits too early. So I've been nailing these trades, okay? I'm nailing these trades, but I am not taking my profits. So it's an issue. I'm working on it. I'm not perfect. So everything that I'm doing generally gives me at least a 2-to-1. So the fact that I'm settling for a 1-to-1 ratio, risk reward, is killing me. So I just want to point out something really fast here. This AMD chart actually falls perfectly into my plan, but at the time I didn't have this chart pulled up, so I saved myself a losing trade this morning. Actually had another chart up when the open happened, so I didn't even have AMD open. I can prove that. So if you come back here, I actually had VKTX open, and I didn't actually switch it over to AMD until later that morning, until this move had happened. But I really, I made a video about it in an earlier video about how I take this open strategy, and it works like this. It's pretty simple. You have an open candle. This is the 930 candle here we create this ceiling. When we break the ceiling, we come back to retest. Now, whether I would have got into this or not, I don't know, because the issue is I usually like to, sometimes I'll jump the gun and just start buying this pullback for the push back up and sell the new high. And then other times I will wait for a confirmation. So other times, if I'm feeling conservative on a morning, just all depends on my mood, I guess. That's really the best way to put it. It depends on how I'm feeling. But if I'm feeling conservative, what I'll do is I'll wait for it to touch and then, have that rejection. Where this bar would look. My mouse sucks, so I gotta get a better mouse. So I'm not real precise with that, but what you can see there is like a rejection and then push back up. And then an advanced strategy that I use is I would buy that with, let's say, 500 shares. Well, I can't do that. Thinking light speed here. With 200 shares, would buy that with 200 shares, somewhere in this area, and then as it pushes up and proves to me that it's that level is going to hold, I would add 200, and then push up and then sell the new high or the continuation pattern. That theory is really great, but in this case, this morning, if I had have been watching this chart, it's very possible that I would have been buying this pullback and would have been stopped out. So I got out of that. Maybe, I don't know, it just depends. I don't know how this candle formed. Did it plummet really fast? Did it kind of come down and then bounce up and then come down? It would just all be about how that candle there played out. So, anyhow, we'll get on with it here. Let me get on through the video. So it was a pretty down day. Everything was moving down. I just couldn't find an entry. I was trying to find a solid entry, but nothing was working, and nothing was being very constructive. We had these levels here, NIO, we had this push up, now we're coming down, and I marked these levels here at 260 and 245 on NB EV. And then later on in the day, I found out I couldn't short this stock with trading that. It just didn't have enough volume, so I ended up taking that one out, as you'll see here shortly. Try to get through this 8 minutes. We're at 8 minutes, so let's see. Let's move on here. I'm just watching the charts. So what we have here is NIO. Now I'm watching NIO because interesting, it's formed a, see here, I skipped the whole dead blasted thing. I made like $50, $45 on this trade. The move was, we had kind of this triangular pattern here. We broke down, we came back up, and I shorted at 861. So if you look here, 863 is this blue line right here. So 863, I shorted 861, and then basically took it down to like 51. But then as soon as I sold it, it just plummeted. And I saw this. I saw the sellers. There was huge selling pressure, and I bailed out of this trade. Like I don't know, like why I did. This could have been a $200+ trade on a $500 account. I could have been posting a video plus $200, on a $500 investment. That's getting pretty close to 50%, and on one trade. And I just, I got out. I don't know. My risk was at 70, so I had this. I was in at 61, or up here at 61. My risk was 70, so right above this area right here. So I'd had about a 9 cent stop, and then instead of letting this thing ride, I took a 1-to-1, which plays into my strategy. But seeing the level 2s and seeing everything stack up, I knew this thing was going to go. I didn't know it was going to go all the way to $8 roughly, which is where it ended up. But it's all in context. I could have easily made 40 cents on this trade right here. 40 cents. And as you can see, this pattern here, we had the move up, and then we had this move down, or and we had this triangular pattern. I was actually looking for a break up because we'd already moved down. So what I start looking, when we've had a significant move down, I start looking for these these higher highs to start forming, and then I usually get in somewhere in that area for the bounce, like a retracement bounce. And so I was actually looking for that, and then this candle actually sold me, and I knew I was going to be short. So what I did was I waited for this old support, new resistance, to be tested, and it did. It came up, it tested that level, rejected that level, and that's when I got in. I said, okay, if this thing breaks back up through that new resistance, I'll be out. So actually give it a little bit more than that. It was really more like a 5-cent deal, and I give it 10 cents. So I was really at 70, and then took like 51, like 851, I believe, is where I got out. So I got out in this area, whereas as you can see now, we're already at 819, 818 trading. This thing keeps going. We had huge selling pressure. I'm talking like 35, 40,000. And another reason, I'll try to give you my explanation really fast here. As well as I do, the $50 is a big number, and we were right there at that 50 level, and I just did not want to see this thing bounce. I really did not want to see that, so I went ahead and locked in. But here I am sitting at 52, 51. I'm debating on holding or letting go, and I'm seeing on level 2, I'm seeing these one, at 50, everybody's stacking up, 1,000 shares at a time, and then over here at 51, there's 35,500, 51, 51, 51, and it just goes on and on and on, and you've got all these sellers, so I mean, it was so obvious, and I did it to myself. It was a rough day. I had to walk away with $45, trading 500 shares on $8.63. So that's my recap. It was not one of my greatest days, but I appreciate you guys watching, and I hope you guys had a good trading day. And if tomorrow comes, I hope it'll be a much better day for all of us, and we'll live to trade another day. So thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. This is the journey of creating this $500 account. I'm taking it all the way to the $9,000 account, and I don't know how long it's going to take. I'm going to start trying to ramp up my aggressive trading, and trying to hold these winners just a little bit longer, little tweaks here and there, just to try to make it a little quicker of a process, because right now I'm going pretty slow, and I realize that. But it's all getting used to this broker and such too. So as I get more used to it and more comfortable, I will start ramping things up a little bit. So thanks for watching. Have a great night.